Happy Wednesday, everybody. Starting with Bitcoin, you can see Bitcoin is now breaking out of this bull flag. This is daily chart, and you can see here now we made a flag and we're trying to break out. All right. So, if you want to see the measured move of this breakout, you can see how we can do it. Is you can zoom out a bit, and then you can see we can try to draw a line here. This is a flag post. Okay. If this is a flag, and if we start to break out, the target is here around 42 43k. Okay, so I always have this as a target, which is a resistance, big resistance here. So let me delete this line. Let me go back to auto chart, and you can see this whole area here, 42k resistance. You can see here we came on 6th of January 2021, came back in this area June 2021, then again back tested this in 2022 around April time frame, then broke down. Okay, now we're coming back for a back test, so that's where we are. So now looks like Bitcoin wants to go and break it. It's pumping, and that's our eventual target around 42k. Ethereum on the other side also will follow Bitcoin, a little bit weaker than Bitcoin, but again same thing, same concept here. You can see we're making a higher high. This high is higher than this high, and you can see very oversold short term, but this can remain oversold. It can still keep going higher. And again, the measured move target for this Ethereum, if I draw like a flag post and then take it out, it's around $2,100 to $2,000. Okay, so everything is looking good for crypto, and seasonality wise, Bitcoin can be very bullish from now until end of this year to New Year's. So do not look too short. Okay, one thing to note on 1 hour chart, we're making a new high and we have some divergence. So just keep that in mind. But if it keeps going higher, that divergence can be taken out. Okay, so what does that mean? You can see this RSI. You can see price is making a new high, but RSI is making a lower high. But if it keeps going higher, this can still keep going higher and then burn divergence. But if it does not happen, then I think a pullback is due. All right. So again, going back to daily chart, we did break out. We could get, if we get any pullbacks in this area around 32k, look to buy. Okay, it's buy the dip right now. It's looking very bullish. You can see all these moving averages on Bitcoin pointing to the upward side. This means a very strong bull trend. All right. So look to buy any dips you get, but as of now, I don't see any signatures. I mean signs of dips happening right now. And next targets are 40 to 42k. All right, so that's done with Bitcoin. S&P 500. You can see my two targets here, and I was telling you guys yesterday. It's gonna go here, find resistance, and that's what happened. This is live futures, so futures are trying to break out. So this is downward sloping 20 EMA. So two possible paths. We're gonna go higher. We're gonna go this green path, which I prefer. So I prefer a little bit of pullback and then go high, and then try to break this resistance. And the second path will be get a rejection here and then make a new low and then go higher. Okay, no matter how we go, we're gonna be higher, and my target is this gap fill around 45.74. Let's look at SPY for a second. So you can see here SPY now again gap up. If I go to 1 hour chart, let me hide extended hours, so you can see regular trading hours. The only issue I have is gaps, but you can see gaps can be remain open for a while. Again, go back to okay, 1 hour chart. You can see we gap up slightly, and this gap is never filled. All right, another gap is here, and that also is not filled. So bottom gaps are in green and red gaps, top gaps are in yellow. All right. So you can see my projection is playing out how I was thinking. I'm thinking we can get a little bit of pullback to make a higher low, and then we go higher. And this gap is still not filled around. Actually, sorry. Let me go back to 1 hour chart. Let's see if this. Okay, this gap is filled perfectly now. You can see how gaps are always filled. So this gap, which happened on gap down on 25th of October, they filled it perfectly. So we can delete this gap very nicely here. So now there's a gap to the downside. And my expectation is we get a little bit of lower high, and then we keep going higher, and that would be my best case scenario. And I'm expecting, you can see 3 gaps to the top side 438, 450, 456, and then three gaps to the downside. And seasonality wise, I prefer gaps to the upside filled first, and then maybe come back next year to fill bottom gaps, but we'll see. Okay, now the other thing is this big resistance here. Now this is a test. Okay, one day closing above these resistance does not do anything. Let me bring back moving averages. This red box, I'm going to leave it red. If it closes 2 days above this, then I'm going to make it green. It's finding resistance S&P 500 right on this, the two lines. This is dark blue line, which is 200 SMA, and then the white line, which is 20 EMA. So it's finding resistance right here. It's not going to be easy to break. Okay, so we might need a little bit of pullback before we go higher. So just keep that in mind. So if you get a little bit of pullback, that's going to be very bullish. By our Apple earnings is tomorrow. Okay, so that could be the catalyst. If Apple if Apple earnings are bad or something, we get a little bit of pullback, and that will drive entire market down, and that's what we will get for a high low. But as of now, it's still in a downtrend. Apple's making lower highs, lower lows. But if it breaks out above this trend line, that's going to be very bullish. All right. So again, going back to SPY, three gaps to the top side, three gaps to the top bottom side. I prefer all top gaps to be filled first. Nasdaq looks like a massive bull flag. You can see, if you see, this could be a massive bull flag. If you see long term, if I draw a line here like this, okay, this could be a massive bull flag too, guys. So just keep that in mind. And if this thing plays out, this could be very bullish. Okay, could be very bullish. And I just want to make sure you guys know this, so we could go and touch even like 20,000, 21,000. Okay, just so keep that in mind. Do not like short blindly. Seasonality wise, this is a time when you gotta be very bullish. Okay, November and December are very bullish seasons. So just keep that in mind. All right. So live futures, this is daily chart. US 100 is right now pumping. And let's go to NDX and let's try to look at weekly analysis and see how we are doing now based on my other indicator, which I share once in a while. So if I delete this, add that 3 moving average, sorry, not this one. The indicator is here. And if I add this one, you can see here, you can see what happened. I'm gonna delete this. You can see we are now bouncing above this red line. What did I say before? Always I say in a bull market, we go and we touch red line and then we bounce. Okay, see, bull market, touch red line, we bounce, touch red line and we bounce. Look what happened now. Touch the red line, bouncing. Okay, so very bullish price action, and we are bouncing, and it looks like bottom is in, and we're going towards on new highs. And from here to previous high, now we are only 8.5% away. All right, so that's my target. So let me go back to Triple Q's other indicator, daily chart. So you can see, if I go to 1 hour chart, this gap is still not filled on Triple Q. So there's a gap to the top side. Also, there's a gap up here. So I already have gaps. You can see green gaps are to the downside and yellow gaps are to the upside. And also there's downward trend line. So let's see if we can close above tomorrow this 220 EMA, then there's a gap fill here. Most likely we're going to do that around 358. Then we get a little bit higher low pullback to fill this gap, and then we go higher. So eventually I'm looking for higher prices by the end of this year. And let's keep checking Dow Jones. Same thing here, finding resistance. All these sectors are finding resistance around 20 EMA. So again, looking for a pullback. I don't know if we're going to get it now or we're going to get it later. Maybe we'll see. But Apple is reporting earnings. Maybe that will be catalyst of higher low before we go higher. We'll see. IWM, same thing, looking for this gap fill, and looks like we're getting that now. And are we going to get a higher low and then we go higher? We'll see how that happens. All right. Gold, you can see a little bit of weakness, looking for support here around 2000 to 1950, look to buy. Silver also struggling to close above this trend line, so wait for this to close above this trend line, we'll see. Natural gas, a little bit of cool down, look to buy it. Higher high, sorry. This high, yesterday's candle is higher than previous high, so higher high. Any pullbacks, look to buy. Crude oil, You can see it's breaking down. Nothing changed. Bear flagging, and then it made a new low today. So I'm looking for next target is around 74 bucks. Dollar index also weakening, which is good news. So looking for it to eventually break down, and then the cycle low is coming in January. So looking for lower prices. That's going to be bullish for stock market and crypto. Apple reporting earnings tomorrow. If I go to 1 hour chart, this gap is filled. You can see nicely this slight gap left is also filled. Finding resistance on 200 EMA and 200 SMA. So are we gonna get actually this one is turned support now, so I'm gonna make it green here. So you can see this whole area is becoming support now. So are we gonna get a near pullback? A little bit of pullback, buy it and then go higher. We'll see what happens after earnings. Tesla bouncing. There's a gap here, so we'll see if we can go and fill this gap. That's the eventual target. Netflix gap up again, and then this gap here on 475. That's the target. Microsoft also gap up. The target is around 349. Google also looking for a little bit of pullback, but if other markets don't give you pullback, then maybe Google will not give you pullback. Meta also looking very bullish. If I go to 1 hour chart, this gap is also filled, so nice gap recovery on Facebook. And now this gap down, so the sky's the limit. There are other gaps here around let's see, around 357 and 362. Those are our next targets, okay, on Facebook. And Amazon, massive candle again, keep going higher. So it looks like they don't want any pullback. So all these stocks are looking bullish. Snowflake's a little bit down. Gap is still not filled. So look for this gap to fill 141 before going higher. NVDA, again, multiple gaps to the top side, looking for those target. AMD, wow, massive pump. Very lot of tricks, lot of traps. After earnings, it was down 5%, and look what happened today. It's up almost 10%. Okay, so massive candle above all moving averages. This is looking very, very bullish. Do not short AMD. TSX looking nice. This nice candle here. If we get any pullback to fill this gap, look to buy. Hang Seng Index also looking nice after backtest of this trend line. Looking for higher prices here. So things are looking good across the globe. Bond market, again, very good news. Struggling, right, it's close above this 20 moving average, which is good sign. Now it's still above that second day in a row, struggling to close above this trend line. So if it happens today, if it closes above this, also there are these SMA, 50 SMA and 50 EMA. If it closes above that, that's going to be a buy signal. Copper bouncing, nothing changed. Palladium looking struggling, but trying its best to close above this 1140. That's our next resistance. Wheat consolidating in the support box, so look to buy wheat here. Corn also in the support area, so just be patient and look to keep buying as much as you can. Soya beans also consolidating, looking for a bounce. Sugar looking for back to this trend line. If that does not happen, that's okay. We just got to be patient, wait for it to go back to this trend line to buy again. Newmont Mine looking for pullback. That gap is not filled, $36. Gold miners looking for this pullback on 27 bucks to fill it and then go higher. XLK gap up, so looking for higher prices. XLE looking for this gap, $82 to fill. XLV, this gap is filled, so I can delete this, but still price action is below all these moving averages. Actually, there could be another trend line which we can make here, something like this. Let's see. Not a nicest of trend line. So healthcare does not have the cleanest of the charts. It's maybe something like this. Yeah, something like this. But anyhow, I'm going to delete this for now. So let's just go with this. All right. So yeah, looking for higher prices. Sold off very heavily. Maybe we'll make a high low, or we keep going until we go above this trend line. I'm not going to be bullish on healthcare. Utility sector bouncing right in the resistance area. So this is where you want to see battles between bulls and bears. So if you get any pullback, look to buy it here. Industrial, again bouncing, so perfectly following this chart. Real estate sector, again finding resistance on this 20 moving average. So looking for high low and then go high. Financial sector, I don't think we're going to get this gap fill, looks like. So maybe we'll have a higher low, then we go higher. KRE, Regional Bank ETF. I was expecting this gap fill. We'll see if we get it or not. So we'll leave it there for now. Shopify earnings, when is it? Earnings is in the morning tomorrow, so we'll see how it goes. If we go fill this gap, $45, that will be good area to buy. So from today's close to that gap fill is around 8%. So yeah, so it can happen tomorrow if we open here. So keep that in mind. All right, guys, let's look at indicators short term. By the way, guys, if you like the content, please hit the like button and share with your friends and family. And I have this other indicator here. I usually post these trades with my followers or subscribers every morning pre-market, so they know the levels. This is mainly for day trading, and it can help you make quick profits, 1 to 2% on a daily basis. So you can see here, for example, what happened today. So we were here in the buy zone pre-market, in the neutral zone, and I said these are the sell zones and the buy zones, and then we pumped from neutral zone to the sell zone, and we just kept pumping, and now we are in a perfect sell zone. Okay, so I'm expecting a pullback from this zone tomorrow. So this is not where you want to be long. Okay, this is where you want to take profits and hold cash. Okay, same thing on S&P 500 in the sell zone, your second standard deviation. This one, Dow Jones also near sell zone, short term, and Russell 2000 also near sell zone. So short term, everything is very, very oversold. So you have to wait for it to go back to green lines to buy. For now, it's perfect time to short or buy inverse ETF, all right? Same thing with Bitcoin. You can see near third standard deviation, perfect time to sell. And Ethereum also perfect time to sell. So sell means it's a day trading mechanism. So do not take it like sell it like and stay selling it for like a couple of weeks. No, it's just for one day trade. If you take profits from this zone, this is a perfect time to take profits. All right, guys, I will see you tomorrow and have a good rest of the day.